exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Indeed, and be glad in it. We are alive in the land of the living. So it's indeed another opportunity to give God thanks for preserving us and for helping us to make it to Friday, the day before the weekend. We're heading on into the weekend, Julian. And of course, we start off this morning with some very troubling news. Just yesterday we were speaking to Superintendent Kirk, and he was telling us, Carnival was so safe and, manageable, and it was something that we were very happy about, only to hear about the fourth murder being recorded in Tobago for the year. Of course, it's something for concern, and it's something that is very, very, disturbing and troubling in our Tobago space.
And I think it's particularly concerning for me because of the fact that it's not the first in this area.
In that area,
in
yes.
that vicinity, right opposite the port there in Scarborough, within that supermarket and that hub there as it relates to the bar. That space in itself, almost making one uncomfortable.
That's right.
To want to be in and around that space. I even saw one of our hosts, Marcus, post immediately. That's kind of like a hot spot now.
That's what I was about to say.
So you have to be so cautious, and really and truly, I would prefer if we didn't have spaces being determined like that.
Precisely.
In Tobago. It's really a call for the authorities to take some kind of direct attention to the space and the circumstances, because what is very clear is that there are things happening.
That's right.
There are things happening there that seem to be leading to some kind of drawing of negative elements and activities, and I'd leave it at that for now. But there are things happening in that space.
That's right.
And therefore, the police needs to respond accordingly.
Definitely.
As best as they possibly can in what might be deemed as a hotspot area under the circumstances. But really, very unfortunate. We send out condolences going out to the family, and circumstances we don't want to have to continue to see, because I keep making the point, the greater discomfort for me would be someone in that area and space, unsuspecting, having nothing to do, just in Scarborough.
That's right, because I remember when it happened last night, I got a phone call. Are you at home? Just to ensure that, and it kind of worries me that now your relatives, your family, your friends, having heard about something like this, calling, where are you, to ensure you are not involved in any way, as you rightfully said, being the people is the area where people you traverse there, whether you're going to the taxi stand, whether you're going to the shops, whatever you're going for, you're just traversing those areas, and it really is concerning that it just happens in that open space. So it really is troublesome. And as you said earlier, you mentioned earlier, being termed a hotspot is something that we don't want to have that terminology here in Tobago at all. There's no spot that we want to declare a hotspot at all on this small island of Tobago.
I want to be comfortable to go wherever I want to.
That's
in Tobago.
right.
The photo that we just you saw on screen, of course, is the photo of the deceased Vernon Thomas. That's the name that's circulating now, the individual in the photograph, that would have been deceased coming out of the incident that took place. So certainly we are very much hoping indeed to see a about direct response coming from the TTPS as it relates to this area. I know they would have their strategies and whatever is best, but we're definitely looking at a direct response as it relates to this area.
Right.
All right, viewers, at this point we head on over to news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Friday, 16 February 2024. Tobago recorded its 4th murder for the year last night. The deceased is Vernon Thomas, also known as Tucker, from Mount Grace. The murder occurred on the corner of Dutch Fort and Milford Road in Scarborough. Thomas was shot and died at the scene. More details will be provided in our 6:30 p.m. newscast. Grenada is concerned about leaking oil from the Gulf Stream wreck affecting their territory. This concern arises after GIS mapping from TEMA showed the oil slick spreading into Grenada's water. Meanwhile, Chancellor of Venezuela Ivan Gil, acting on instructions from President Nicolas Maduro, posted on his X account that they have been monitoring the Tobago oil spill incident. He confirmed that technical level meetings have occurred with neighboring countries to mitigate the impact and are standing by to render assistance if needed. Additionally, Guyanese Vice President Bharat Jagdeo could not confirm that a vessel carrying crude oil was being towed by the Solo Creek tugboat on its way to Guyana. The vessel's destination was announced by TNT's Ministry of National Security. However, at a press conference, Jagdeo indicated he was not aware of that information. And finally, 2 police officers from the Coastal Support Unit were hospitalized after their boat exploded near Peaks in the Gulf of Paria. PC Turbine sustained burns to his face, arms, and back, while PC Gonzalez injured his leg. The explosion threw them into the sea, and witnesses helped extinguishing the fire. The Coast Guard assisted in transporting them to Stobles Bay and then to St. James Hospital for treatment. The incident occurred around 10:30 a.m. on Thursday after a refueling exercise. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you so much. The continued highlights. And Adana as well, we're seeing the happenings as it relates to the east of this mysterious vessel now identified, and it seems like we're taking it one day at a time. Right. And I couldn't help but pay particular attention to the interview yesterday, and very interesting points being brought forward from the perspective of this is not new to Trinidad and Tobago. Are we really seeing all the resources being brought out at the national level, or is it being brought out in stages? And I'm saying under the circumstances, we would like to see a similar kind of urgent response. And I hoped and continue to hope for nothing better than that. Right. After what I deem to be a very cordial, I think that's the best word that I will use, a very cordial press conference, including the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, and the Honorable Chief Secretary, Fali Chavez Agustin. So I'm really hoping that that national response can be one that is clearly, more definitive and immediate in the circumstances. I feel as if things are coming one at a time, slowly. And we'd like to see that same kind of urgent response, because without a shadow of a doubt, you have seen the Chief Secretary, you have seen TEMA on the outside pushing, you've seen volunteers in the mix trying to make things happen. And then, as I said, I got very excited seeing the intervention of the government, Minister Sinanan, Stewart, the Prime Minister, etc., getting in the mix. So similarly, if those resources really exist as came out by way of that interview, I would definitely like to see those resources also put into effect right here in Tobago.
I suppose it's being done I suppose the assessment is a needs by need basis. I don't know what is an urgent and immediate need to have the resources, available and in action effectively.
Well, I don't know how else to say the thing bad.
It's real bad.
It's real bad.
Real bad.
It's real bad.
You know?
So under the circumstances, we've made some progress. I was very pleased even to
Yes.
share with some of my Caribbean colleagues and counterparts some of the progress made thus far by Tima. Kudos going out there, Mr. Stewart. Similarly as well, my very good colleague out there through the University of the West Indies, our UWI days, Darian Mitchell. Excellent work there out of Tima and the entire team. But definitely those updates have been helpful to give a sense of what the progress has been. So, I can only imagine how much further we will get, much sooner if we get that urgent national response in the circumstances. So we wait to see, but we continue to look forward to that progress, because in the meanwhile, we have the impact taking place through, I see, Scarborough Secondary School and Lambu Anglican certainly affected by the air quality.
Right.
And if they have a replica, any at all, as Principal Trisha Devines up there in Signal Hill, they have immediately swung into the mode of utilizing as best as possible, it may not be ideal, but as best as possible, the online platform to continue to engage our students, and so that there isn't too much lost time in terms of their educational pursuits.
That's right, because we've suffered enough losses as it stands where this is concerned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head on over to our birthday segment. Right, and on screen and celebrating a birthday is Joanne Macmillan. Joanne Macmillan, you are celebrating a birthday, and of course, we here at Tobago Updates Television, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. We pronounce God's blessings upon your life, and we do pray that this new chapter of your life will be very exciting and filled with blessings and love and laughter. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, indeed. And shout outs this morning going out to Jared Primer. All right. And, this known, of course, within the performing arts, some would say Mr. Performing Arts. And I know that since UWI days.
That's right.
My family connection out there. Want to wish you a happy birthday, Jared Primer. Continuing to make your contribution here on the island of Tobago, and in fact beyond, as you continue to represent us, coming from your wife as well, Keshia Primer, and the entire family, wishing you a happy birthday.
Right, and on screen now is Lennox Smith. Lennox Smith is also celebrating a birthday, and we want to wish Lennox a very happy birthday today. And as we enter into the weekend, that the celebrations continue, that you experience love and everything that comes with celebrating a birthday. We want to say happy birthday to you.
All right, and we have on screen, yes, our very own Caston Cupid.
Right.
Certainly just out of the season, they're continuing to make his mark on the Calypso platform, coming second in the Young Kings competition, and really continuing to stand out exceptionally. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, he is most definitely going to get and will make it to that big stage, because there are big songs that he is delivering consistently, and I want to remind him to keep at it, keep focused. Certainly there is a place for Caston Cupid when it comes to the entertainment industry. So kudos and congratulations going out there. And this one is not a birthday, but this is a recognition I definitely wanted to highlight. It's Osani. Osani located now right there at the Ansa McCall building. That's where Standards used to be, next to Downtown Fitness. And then I had the chance to visit, and I know you need to check it out, because certainly I know ladies will enjoy this space even so. But I went particularly to support a friend and a colleague, and you know how it is when you're venturing out in business. And I want to say shout outs and kudos going out to Aveen Osani Thomas. Certainly folks, Osani Designs, get all your gift needs and so on. Feel free to drop in and check them out. It's located right there, the Ansa McCall building in Scarborough. That's next to Downtown Fitness. So even if you're heading to the gym, make sure and check out Osani there. Congratulations indeed. And definitely we look forward to having her on as well, as we chat a little bit, as young persons get into the business and so on, and seeking to develop and to move forward from there. Congratulations.
Many congrats. All right, on the program this morning, we'll be speaking with Mr. Alvin Douglas. Alvin Douglas, he's the owner and operator of Tobago Frontier Dive Club. And of course, the conversation will continue about the oil spill and protecting our reefs. That's the conversation we're having with him. Then we speak with Kelly Manet Cameo, Interim General Manager of Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program. And of course, we're still celebrating that love that we share on Valentine's Day for the entire week. So we're talking about the Botanic Gardens Valentine's Picnic. So if you didn't have the opportunity to have your Valentine's dinner or your Valentine's date, there's an opportunity for you coming up. So stay with us so that we give you more information on that. And our sports host, Mr. Marcus Daniel, we know him as Mr. Cricket. He's going to be having conversations with Tandika Moses, Secretary, Tobago Cricket Association, 2024 domestic cricket season. And also we wrap the conversation with Jerome Morgan, Vice Chairman, Secondary Schools Track and Field, Tobago. We're talking about Tobago Secondary Schools Championships and the National Intercall. And that's the show we have for you today. We do hope that you stay with us as we continue to bring you this information and have relevant conversations that pertain to things happening in and around Tobago. We're always so happy when you choose us, as Julian always says, that we are number one because of you. So we want to say thank you so much. And we hope that you stay with us while we go to the break. And of course, when we go to the break, we invite you to share the live.
Give it to me. Give it to me, honey.
Girl, you look normal. Girl, you look normal. Girl, you look normal. Girl, you look normal. Oh, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Girl, you know what you're doing. You waste with the eye contact. Girl, what's the point? Look back. 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 Look back how it parts. Look back. Look back how it stays. Look back. Look back to the stars. Look back. Look back.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you. Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. We're at 7:17 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. So we continue the conversation this morning. Yes, folks, we're speaking about the Tobago oil spill and, protecting our reefs. And I want to add into that, we're speaking about the progress that we have made to date. And this morning we have on set with us Alvin Douglas, owner and operator of Tobago Frontier Dive Club. Good morning to you and welcome.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
And I know from, I'm diving straight into it, from interviews I've done with you over time, there's always an excitement and a passion about diving. Yeah. Imagine I remember being at Storby, being called over to the shop to see an image, just found this right under and so on. Mm-hmm. This is a kind of different circumstance for you. So let's start from there. That call that was received to lend some support given the circumstances here when you first heard of the oil spill?
Well, actually, on that day, it was last week Wednesday, we were just about to take out one of the largest group I've had for the year. And usually when I get a call from TIMA to respond to any kind of an incident, it is relatively easy for me to stop what I am doing. But at that point, I had to actually stop my guests from coming on my boat and say, wait a minute, there's been an incident and we need to treat with this. And my dive, my recreational dive turned into a commercial or a response, or emergency response, I should call it. The first thing they had asked me to do is, TIMA had mandated me to do is to inspect and do a check of the vessel to see if you can figure out where it come from, where it's lying and whatnot. So myself and a team, we went and we found the name of the vessel etched onto the side of the vessel. It is in a really precarious area where the only place that I respect more than that area of the island is that piece of water between Charlottesville and Speyside. It is one that you have to respect because it's constantly rough, and if you're not a experienced seafarer, you can get into problems. Numerous boats have turned over and been pushed into the pity through right there. So it's in a place where it's a blessing for Tobago in that the leakage or the substance that it looks like oil that's coming out of it is actually going more or less out to sea. But that's a blessing. But the curse is that to treat with it, it's a nightmare to treat with. I mean, it has been rough since from last week to this time. But luckily, we have a team on the ground that is on the island, and there's a task force chaired by the chief secretary, and every evening we meet and we go through the list task by task to see the progress that we've made, and it's exciting. It's very, very new to me, even if I've dealt with emergencies around the coast for years on the island, but this one is new to me.
Tell us a little bit about that progress from your perspective, as a diver, because I know probably by the time you actually saw the happenings, immediately, it must have made you quite uncomfortable, and the first thing you're thinking about is that natural habitat that you've known for years, you've grown to appreciate. In fact, you've developed your love for diving. Tell us a little bit about that progress between last week and where things are at now based on your involvement.
Well, other than inspecting the site underwater, my team, we responded by also assisting the professionals of Trinidad to lay the boom so that we could contain the spill. And to be quite honest, I think that's one of the most difficult things to do right now, because they had to bring in heavy duty booms and ocean booms because the ship is in the surf. Even if you lay the boom, because of the extreme drift and the wind and the surf, it pushes the oil. Even if you contain it, it pushes the oil over it. So there's spillage. But we finally made progress on that. I know from the meetings, the cleanup on the coast is going quite well. It's we've had a lot of volunteers come out, and again the leadership, Mr. Farley has demonstrated a calm and constructive way and a systematic way of making sure that all the task is done. So I think for the cleanup on the beach, if Tobago could testify, it's gone well. It's leaps and bounds from where it started to now. Outside, where people's eyes are not around the vessel, we have made progress. What we're planning to do is to divert that flow towards shore and have them vacuum. And then what we're going to do today, when I'm done here, we're going to lay booms further west, so in case of any spillage, we can catch it. But as I said, the blessing for Tobago is that the spillage is moving out to sea. So it's not threatening our beaches. It's not threatening the sensitive ecosystem as yet. But just to ensure that it doesn't get into, especially behind the airport, there's some mangrove and wetlands there.
Yes.
We are making sure and place more booms there to make sure that that spill stays off our shores.
All right, and we have a photo as well, based on the discussions you were just having, and it gives a nice representation, and that photo is courtesy of Darian Mitchell out of Tima, a representation of Wednesday, February 7th, that's the before, and the comparison made with Tuesday, February 13th, that's on the right-hand side, the after. Just giving a sense of our coastline, that's in the Scarborough area, really trying to show some level of progress, so to speak. And that's just to put the photograph into the mix for those of you listening in to our interview here this morning. I want you to tell us as well, Alvin, when you think about the prospects, because some are extremely worried, and in fact, I've had to put some clarity out there as well to remind persons that it's not all our beaches that are suddenly closed down in Tobago.
Yeah.
They are affected areas, and most certainly my understanding and information has been the Pigeon Point and a number of other beaches still remain available for use. Tell us a little bit about that, because people think it's all around Tobago that's down.
I did a short interview with BBC a few days ago, and we could be our worst enemy sometimes. People use the term disaster, but it's a concerning incident. But it's not at disaster level yet. We are handling it. I told them, if you were to fly into Tobago as a visitor, you would know that there's an oil spill until you fly over it and you peep and you see the wreckage there. All the beaches that people frequent, there is no. If you go into Scarborough, you might get the scent of the oil scent. But none of the beaches are affected. No, the concern is Store Bay and Pigeon Point and the Boko Reef. None at this time is affected by this incident. You can't say absolutely not 100% because you're dealing with nature.
Correct.
And I've been in the ocean and I've seen the prevailing wind turn 180 degrees to the other direction. If that happens, then there's no telling. But for now, the Pigeon Point is safe, the Boko Reef is safe, Store Bay is safe to go. Yeah, enjoy the island.
Yes, definitely. And the connection there is Pigeon Point, Store Bay, Mount Irving, Kings Bay, Charlottesville, Castara, Speyside, Fort Granby, just to mention some of the beaches that continue to be accessible, particularly for those of you who are viewing right here in Tobago, across in Trinidad, and in fact the region at large. Alvin, before we wrap this morning, what would be the message? And we have it on screen there, the facilities that continue to be available, public advisory coming out from the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. What would be the message that you would want to put out there at this point, speaking to those right here in Tobago, as well as those abroad, as we treat? I like the way you describe it with this incident and with this challenge, because it is not insurmountable at all, and we continue to hope for the best, so that there's no shifting in the tides and so on to create any further challenges.
Well, the first thing I would like to say is congratulations to the team that is working on it. I mean, it is a collaborated effort. Tobago is developing its response on the coastline, but I mean, you have to recognize the efforts from the companies and the government, the central government, setting up their team of experts to assist us also. I mean, we have people, I've never even heard the names. The people like Oil Mop Pan and 3 other boom experts and cleaning experts. They've all collaborated their effort to deal with this in a serious and constructive way. So I would like to say congratulations to them. They meet every day. Some of them come in with the salt still on their skin to meet and to make sure that the next day is a progress. So we have to give them that congratulation. But for the Tobago people, we have to say, listen, treat this as an incident. We are dealing with it, and when you speak about it, we can say, okay, well, oh my God, it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. We are a blessed island. We are a fortunate island. It could have been worse if that ship had landed anywhere east. It would have been a disaster. If it had landed any further west, it would have been an epic disaster. But where it landed, it is in a place where we can treat with it. We can deal with it. It's difficult. I must say it's difficult, and we are getting the help that we need, but we can treat with it.
All right. We're just out of time, viewers, but very quickly, for those of you planning that next vacation coming in, Alvin, Big Doggy, where can they connect with you to take them out to that reef?
Well, my shop is always at the Tobago Beach facility, and you know what I do? I take people underwater, and I show them the wonders of the world. We boast the best reef in the entire world. Notice I didn't say the hemisphere or the Caribbean. I said the entire world, and it's still that way. So come and enjoy and experience your island.
Excellent indeed. I thank you so much, Alvin Douglas, the owner-operator of Tobago Frontier Dive Club, just giving us a little insight into his involvement and the entire team, and certainly sending out commendations there. And I've heard this a couple times well, so certainly kudos going out to the Honorable Chief Secretary Fali Chavez Augustine, leading day by day on the ground. It's not just a call to get an update, but he's on the ground in the mix and providing those regular updates. Alvin, Mr. Stewart, Alan Stewart, you see I almost rename him as well. Mr. Alan Stewart, exceptional there. Teamer in the mix, the entire team, and also the intervention of the central government. Very good information there in terms of the insight and getting into the mix with providing those resources. Certainly there we want to say thanks to all who continue to make that extra effort to ensure that we treat with this incident. I'm using Alvin Douglas words to ensure that we treat with this incident here in Tobago. But remember, we still have a number of our beaches and so that continue to be available for persons to utilize while we work on treating with this incident. Once again, thank you very much, Alvin Douglas, for joining us here on set this morning. Viewers, we want to thank you so much for the continued love and support. Coming up next, yes, Valentine's isn't out of the air just yet. Adana will be back talking about the love picnic happening there in the Botanical Gardens. That's my own terms in the mix, but you're going to get more details about that coming from the interim general manager. We certainly look forward to those discussions, and at this point, viewers, we want to thank you so much for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates morning show, and to remind you that this is your opportunity to join me there, Alvin. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Thanks for having me.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash in transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Carnival is here, but before you hit the streets, make your home the ultimate party zone. Standard says, make it stage ready, now for now. Get dazzling deals on TVs, furniture, appliances, everything to impress your guest. 10% cash back, easy financing, plus no down payment. Now's the time to shine. Visit Standards today. Let them make your home the star of Carnival.
Put a smile on your face. When you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adana Kambi. And yes, we continue conversations in studio with our guests. And this time we're talking about love. Yes, we're still celebrating love. In fact, we should celebrate love all year through. But as I said, for those of you who did not get to have that Valentine's Day date, that Valentine's Day dinner, or that time with that special someone, there's still an opportunity for you. And we'll be speaking this morning with someone who has so much more information on that for you. It's Kelly Manet Camero. She is the Interim General Manager of Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program. We know the Botanical Gardens has hosted beautiful events over the Christmas period, and so we're going to maximize that space again, once again. So good morning and welcome to our program.
Good morning, Ms. Combi, and thanks for having us today.
Right. So we're talking about love, Valentine's picnic, as Julian puts it, the love picnic in the gardens. So tell us about this picnic, the idea behind it. Of course, as I said before, we used the gardens around Christmas time and we saw how beautiful it was, how many persons came out, and just that kind of community spirit that was built around that. And so now we're going to have this love picnic. What is the concept behind this and how is this going to roll out?
All right. So the concept behind this picnic is flowing from our mandate, which includes social enterprise, agroforestry, watershed management, and rehabilitation. And our concept, the name of it, first of all, is loving the gardens. So when we say loving, we are playing on two words.
That's
here.
right.
So we're playing on love in the gardens and actually our appreciation for our green spaces. So loving the
That's
gardens.
right.
So loving the gardens also stems from the idea that we also need to love not only the gardens, but the gardens are the heart of Tobago, Scarborough. And as we just saw in the previous interview, we have as Trinbagonians and Tobagonians also to love our natural resources, to love Tobago. So loving the gardens speaks to bringing back that pride, that love for not only our environment, but for our fellow neighbor, for our communities, for all of us who live and visit and appreciate Tobago and what it has to offer. So that is basically the concept behind our event, which is Love in the Gardens, Valentine's Picnic, which will be hosted tomorrow, Saturday, the 17th of February, 2024, from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m.
And the thing about it is, I see you have different packages here available. So you have like per couple, 4 persons, and so forth. And I just want to put in a plug here for those of you who don't have a date, like a love person. We could make this like a girls' evening. You could go out with a friend. So we'll be building on the community aspect of it.
That's
if you do it in that kind of way. What can people expect when they come out? Because as I said, if we are going by what we saw around Christmas time, how you utilize the gardens, I mean, our expectations are high. So what can we expect when we come? Without giving out too much, of course, but because I know you always want to keep something as an element of surprise. But what can we look forward to?
All right. So for our event on Saturday, we are inviting the general public to pre-register. You can pre-register your space. We have 3 packages. So the first package would include more or less a picnic box. We're providing a picnic space. So it's not tables and chairs to sit and dine. We are making use of our natural resources.
That's right.
That ambience that we are providing, which would be some lighting as well as some decor. And we're also going to have that picnic box along with live entertainment, as well as keeping up with our social enterprise. Some vendors will be there along with their food, their gift items available for sale. You'll also have some non-alcoholic wine as well. And we do have the options of chocolates as well as the rose. If by chance you didn't get the opportunity to pass and pick up something, we do have those items also available on sale. We also have for our participants a second package where you can now choose to customize your experience. You can bring in your meal, and for that fee of $90, per couple. You can come in, have access to that photo wall to take pictures, the vendors, the live entertainment, and just the magical ambience of the botanical gardens.
Well, that is a beautiful element there where you can actually customize your own experience.
Yes.
You know, you bring in your own stuff, and I didn't think about that. So kudos to you guys there for coming up with that. And some of the things that you are entitled to when you take these packages, as you might see on screen soon, the dining space, they're giving you a blanket because, as we said, it's a picnic. It's not a sit down around the table. Right. So it's a picnic experience. The blankets will be provided. Depending on which package you take, the meals will be provided and the drinks as well. And it's open to all and sundry. Is there an age limit?
So just as you mentioned before, it is in keeping with our community spirit, as well as developing that love for family as well. So even if you don't have a couple or you're not part of a couple, you are welcome to come in with your groups, your families, and there's no particular age limit. So if you choose to have an evening out with your son or daughter, they're welcome to attend. We are open to everyone.
This is exciting things happening there, and it's taking place tomorrow at the Botanical Garden, so you can pre-register today to ensure that you secure your package. How can payments be made as well?
So we have several methods for payments. You can do an online bank transfer. You can also do a direct deposit, or we do accept payments in cash at the office as well. You can contact us at 283-5155 for more information. And for any of the vendors who would still like to participate, feel very free to contact us again at 283-5155.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who did not get that opportunity, this is your opportunity once again. And even for families, you are also welcome in keeping with the community spirit and ensuring that everyone gets to experience love from each other and also the love for our environment and our natural resources here in Tobago. We are speaking with Kelly Manning, and she's the interim manager there, and giving us some information as to how we can enjoy this experience. For further information, call 283-5155 to get your information there, or 5115, correct me.
5155.
5155, I was correct in the first instance. So call there to get more information on this. It's happening tomorrow at the gardens. Come out and celebrate love for each other and love for the things that we are blessed to enjoy here in Tobago. Thank you so much for joining us on our program this morning and bringing that information. We're still going to be celebrating love, even in the midst of all the chaos that is happening around us. Let us not forget to share some love. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into a break right now, and when we come back, it's into our sports segment, and we ask you to stay with us as Mr. Cricket, our sports correspondent, is going to be speaking with his guest this morning, talking about, of course, sporting events happening around Tobago. So, of course, before we go for a break, are you going to join me? You're going to show me some love this morning and join me as we invite our viewers to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.
It's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Strawberry Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990, and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee, as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62-TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tata Life, a member of the Ansa Makal Group.
Inner Health, number 13B, Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience, offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hi guys, welcome back to Tobago Updates Television. Of course, it's Friday and we enter the sporting segment, and I want to say thanks so much to Julian and Dana for doing their thing earlier. But of course, it's Friday. Once again, into the sporting segment. Those guys took 10 minutes of my time, but we're going to try our very best to have a good discussion with our guests this morning. We have cricket and also secondary school track and field. But thank you guys so much for staying with us, and of course, don't forget to share the live. Share the live. So first up, we have the Tobago Cricket Association, and with me on set, I have the secretary of the organization, Ms. Tandika Moses. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Marcus. Good morning.
Fantastic. Tandika, the domestic season is about to bowl off tomorrow.
Yes,
40 overs. I can tell you about my playing time, but I mean, we want to talk about what is there to expect for the domestic season here in Tobago.
So our domestic season, as you said, is supposed to start off tomorrow. Carded for this season, we're starting off with the 40 overs, right? The grounds that we'd be utilizing. The countryside, we'd have the Roxborough, we're utilizing the Louis Dore facility, also Moriah and Shaw Park, right? So if you feel that you're in the east, west, north, or south, we accommodating everybody.
Moriah in the north, and you have something central in Shaw Park.
We accommodating everyone for this season, right? And apart from that, we're having the T20. Right, under the lights, but I'm not quite sure yet. We still have some logistics working out with regards to that. It may be played in the day, it may be played in the night. Either way, cricket plays sweeter in Tobago. It will be played. It will be played.
I know over the years for the T20 we used to have it under lights at Roxborough. But obviously, some of the players would have complained about the what they say, the illumination.
The illumination of the lights.
Yes. And then probably how the lights were focused as well. I'm hoping that has been rectified, because I mean, playing cricket in Roxborough is not the same as playing in town. When they go to countryside, you know the support is there, and the vibe
is there.
Exactly, and the vibe is there. And you wouldn't lose all the balls like what happened in the Dream 11 by Shaw Park in that sense. So
no, we could recover the balls.
We could recover the ball. Yes. And as we talk about grounds, Roxborough, I know over the years we have had, and when I say we, the cricket fraternity, we have had some challenges in terms of getting grounds ready, suitably ready in a particular way. That in terms of rolling of the pitch, adequate groundsmen. How is that this year? I mean, it's a perennial problem, and I'm hoping that the Cricket Association would have had discussions with who are the powers, power now. I'm also hearing that some of the grounds are now under EID or EID cut, in that sense. How is that relationship with the Tobago Cricket Association?
It's excellent, Marcus. Honestly, it's excellent. For example, you would have seen the preparations of the Shaw Park grounds.
Our fantastic.
Hard-working ground staff and the sports department working with us to get everything in order. Because, I mean, when you look at the products of cricket in Tobago and what we would have produced, I mean, for example, Joshua James.
Big up Joshua.
He's doing excellent out in the West
Indies. And he's playing with the West Indies,
right? And then we have Orlando James, the younger brother, following in the footsteps. We also have the young Jaden Kent as well. And we also have some more upcoming. We have Josh Telemark and those. So we have a lot of products coming out in Tobago. So we're working really hard trying to, prepare these grounds, get the cricket played so that these young men can continue to strive in the sport of cricket in Tobago.
I'm really happy to hear that, because I'm telling you, I'm not a retiree, but in my playing days, we have had challenges with getting the grounds adequately prepared, because sometimes you show up a match in the morning and then you have to walk with a brush cutter. or you had to work with your own, probably find a roller somewhere, or call a man, hey, your steam roller working, or every roller working, we want to roll a pitch here. And I know that there are guys working with the teacher that are handsomely paid to ensure that the pitches are prepared. And I know when it comes to communication, the Tobago Cricket Association, we don't mess with that in terms of getting information to the relevant authorities or relevant bodies. Hey, we have the fixtures here, we have the matches going to start here, we like the pitches readily available. So tell me about the teams that are registered for this season.
Right, so this season we have the Scarborough Mason Hall, we have the Bago Gladiators, we have
Bago Gladiators, like a Tobago team?
Yes.
Like a Tobago team.
That is the Tobago team. We have Airport Authority. Right. We also have the Mount St. George Police Youth Club, and we have police themselves. Right. So we have 7 teams and Roxborough Strikers as well. Yeah. So we have 7 teams registered for this season.
And in terms of the format for the 40 overs, what's going to be the format for the 40 overs?
Well, I think it would be the...
So we're going to play like a round robin, and then probably the top 4 teams they're going to play.
Yes.
Because that has been the previous format where I think the one would play 4 and then 2 would play 3.
And then 2 would play 3, yes.
So I mean, 7 teams, at least 6 games. Teams are guaranteed at least 6 games in the 40 overs.
6 teams. So each team would be on a bye each week. Right? Yeah. And so if you want to take in the games this weekend, I know you're excited, right? So let me give you all the fixture, right? The games would start at 11. Right, and we have Scarborough Mason Hall taking on Airport Authority. That game would be at the Shore Park Recreational Grounds. We have Mount St. George Police Youth Club taking on the Bago team, the Bago Gladiators. That game would be at Roxborough. And we have Georgia Police Youth Club. Yeah, Roxborough. Police would be playing CNB. I know you're not a retiree, so I'm hoping to see you out there.
CNB is Kenan Bonaccord
Sports Ground, right? I'm waiting to see you there. Right? That game would be in Moriah. So if you want to see Marcus Daniel in action, as he said, he's not a retiree. If you want to see Marcus Daniel in action, he would be playing right at Moriah, right? And Roxborough Strikers, they would be on a bye this weekend. Also, if they want to get the fixtures, we would have it posted on the Tobago Cricket Association page, so you can also follow the
So it's matches Saturday and Sunday.
Yes,
Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, and in terms of the teams to look out for, I mean, CMB United definitely a team to look out for, and the joint defending champions last
with the Bago Gladiators.
With the Bago Gladiators.
I know it hurts you to share that title, but due to certain circumstances, you know how that goes. You had to share.
I think the weather affected, but it's a good time to start the cricket. And we are having wonderful weather in Tobago at this time, so I'm hoping that will continue over the weekend and of course for the entire season. So outside of the 40 overs and the T20, I know we do also have the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast. Is that also on the schedule for this season?
Yes, that is also on the schedule. As I said, because of the logistics, we have a lot of logistics to still work out with regards to how we fit in this tournament, because again, we really want to have a lot of cricket played, especially for the youths upcoming. We try to give them a lot of opportunities, because I remember back then we would have the kiddies cricket. Right, and that is no longer in place. So we're now trying to work down from school levels coming up. So we're trying to see how much cricket that we can get played. Right. So yes, we have the Chief Secretary T10 Blast, but that is more information to come with regards to that. So as soon as all these come out, we have the Tobago Cricket Association page. You can follow, you get all your updates, and all information will come as soon as it comes to hand.
I can't let you leave without asking again about the Dream 11 Bago T10 Blast, of which Tobago enjoyed last year. And I'm hearing in the grapevine that there's a possibility that there will be a second edition.
That they would be returning. The tentative date for such would be the 21st of March. That is next month.
That's right.
Yes, the 21st of March to the 5th of April. Right. That is the tentative date that was given. Same venue, Shore Park. I myself is really excited to have this, because I mean. Those explosive shots that were played into the sea. If there were cruise ships there, windows would have been broken.
And of course, we had the likes of West Indies player Evan Lewis. We had the Trinidad and Tobago players, Jid Cooley. I saw Jid Cooley score 100 yesterday.
Yes, he made an excellent.
And it's like filling the void for some form of international cricket in Tobago, because we used to host the regional 4-day competition. The likes of Waver Lions and Jerome Taylor and all those regional stars who played for West Indies would have been here. I actually saw them, and it was a privilege for me seeing them play as a youngster coming through as well. So whenever we have these sort of tournaments, whether it's 10 overs or 20 overs or 50 overs, I think the Tobago public is very excited and always looking forward to more. Yes. So I'm happy to hear that it's planned. Obviously, more information to be had from the Tobago Cricket Association.
Yes, so as soon as information comes to hand, we would.
That's fantastic.
We would let the public know.
Yeah, and you mentioned youngsters as well. I know that the interzone competition would have started with the under 15s.
Yes, we started with the under 15s.
I mean, some of the results that I saw. I mean, you know, we were looking for wins, but I mean, for you as a secretary, tell me about.
I mean, we're looking for wins, but as I tell the youngsters, losing is a part of your development. I mean, you wouldn't go out there with the intention to lose, but at the same time, when you lose, you know what you have to fix. You know how you have to grow to help in your development when you lose. So I know what I am keeping, I know what I am fixing, right? But all in all, the young men are having fun. It is an opportunity for them to continue to play the cricket, not just to be at home, not to be on the streets idly, right? But it's an opportunity for them to play the cricket. Yes, I would love for them to win. I would love for them to get some winnings, but I guess they have to put in a lot of hard work, right? And apart from that, facility prep is, as you mentioned before, difficulty. So when we have training, I mean, sometimes we can't really train to what we would like it to be because we have to share the grounds with track and field. So we now have to look at how we bat in the balls. We can't really utilize the pitch as how we would like to. So I mean, I guess a lack of preparation, I should say, is what causes some of the issues that we have.
So things to be worked out there, especially when it comes
things
to
be worked out, but
of the game and succession.
But they are still doing well, right? And there's room for improvement.
Fantastic. Tandika, I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Marcus.
Go out there and support the cricket tomorrow. You can be at more. I know you want to go more and see me play tomorrow, right? But there are other venues, right? Roxbow, Shaw Park, and Louis Door.
Yes.
There are matches on those venues. 11 a.m. start time, 40 overs. Pakakula. Go out there and be entertained tomorrow. Obviously, I'll be looking for to see
family as well.
Indeed. See the Cricket Association again as we get more information with the Dream 11 and the Chief Secretary's Tobago TT and Blast.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Guys, we've been chatting there with Tandika Moses, Secretary of the Tobago Cricket Association, talking about the domestic season 2024. Starts tomorrow, in fact, over the weekend. And we have 3 matches on tomorrow and 3 on Sunday. Right? Go out there and support the cricket. Up next, we have Mr. Jerome Morgan talking about the secondary schools track and field championship. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to run into track and field. Don't forget to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
And guys, thank you so much for staying with us here on Tobago Updates Television. We are into the sporting segment. We just heard from the Tobago Cricket Association. Exciting things happening there where cricket is concerned. Now on set with me, Mr. Jeremy Morgan, Vice Chairman of the Tobago Zone Secondary School Track and Field Championship. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, sir. It's good to be here. Good morning to Tobago, Trinidad by extension.
Fantastic. Track and field season. Yes. Track and field season, always a busy season. And you know, when I see how you guys do things in terms of logistics and stuff, I don't envy you guys to get all the schools and athletes and get them prepared for a meet with so many different events. Yes, You know, I commend you guys greatly for ensuring that school sports remain very vibrant in Tobago and of course Trinidad and Tobago. So you guys just concluded the Tobago Zone, what we call it Intercol.
Intercol.
Right, a new champion, should I say new champion?
New champion.
Yeah.
Freshly minted.
Yeah.
Congratulations goes out to Roxborough Secondary School. I mean, and we saw it happening over a number of years now, where every year they were getting closer and closer. And this year, to the team at Roxborough, physical education teachers like Mr. Kern Tom and Carissa Douglas, they would have led that charge.
Yes.
And the students rose to the occasion and they were victorious. I mean, it was wonderful to watch. Morgan's from Roxborough anyhow saying, no, I celebrated it. I was like, good for Roxborough Sec. And it was well done.
Yeah, and it's good to have other schools, aspiring to reach the top and then getting to the top.
Definitely.
Because traditionally, what we call the sporting schools.
Big schools.
Big schools. Scarborough Secondary, Bishops,
Signal Hill.
You understand?
Those are the dominant forces in track and field. So Roxborough would have turned the whole thing on the head and they have shown us all that it can be done.
Yeah.
And any student that, we have students who sometimes they haven't found their niche.
Yes,
and I think that's what they have done. They were able to get students to come out, participate, do a positive thing, and they were successful. And going forward, it will be great to see if they could also go to the nationals and do the same. Because they have a large team going down. So mathematically, the numbers are there. They just have to get it right on the day.
Fantastic. And what do you think was your organization's role in that whole success for Roxborough?
I think we are just facilitators. What we do, and it's PE teachers. And we have a principal who I would apologize for. She couldn't be here because of a principal's meeting, Ms. Ramnarayan, as the chairman. So we are just here to ensure that we have a competition taking place. It's a lot to get it done. You have to go through procurement issues. You have to go through scheduling conflicts. And it's a lot of work that has to be done in the background. I didn't even see much of the games. I would have heard relay teams, and people asking me, well, why didn't this team win? Who got disqualified? And I honestly didn't see, so I don't know. But just being able to see athletes being able to go out and give their best, represent their school, I was really proud. Every child that went, in my book, they are winners because many people don't have the braveness to go down to that track. And,
trust me. I know of it. And would you say this was probably one of the better years in terms of organization and the amount of students that participated?
I will tell you, since COVID, it has been harder to organize. We as PE teachers have to wear many hats. Cricket season is starting as well.
Basketball too.
Basketball is taking place. And, to be able to, in the midst of all of this, teach and ensure that all of these activities take place. So me, I just want to see my children participate.
Yes.
And sometimes we would take some licks and it's a cycle. Then you would get a few good players, or if you could keep your players, you would be able to have a team that could really go all the way. And then to organize this, I think, within the school, the teachers have to take a lot of credit. They have ensured that their students are training, involved in a club, and this benefits the school in the long run. So they have a lot of students who have been training, not just for this short season, but they have an off season. They would compete also in the club events, some of them, and this would have benefited Roxborough.
And as you mentioned clubs there, I know there's a discussion in the public domain about some coaches not allowing their, I don't want to say their, because it's not their athletes. They coach them. But how would you respond to that in terms of not allowing them to participate for their school? Because I'm telling you, if you go to a school, I think school comes first.
Well, I will tell you this. I understand the concern. There are pros and cons, and there are two sides. Tobago is a small space. And what we have to do is to be able to work together for the benefit and also the success of the Tobago athletes. And I think I understand if a coach comes to me and says, I have a concern or maybe this athlete here, you know, this athlete, exactly.
Right, okay,
so I have O'Shea Cummings, who's a young prodigy, Mason Hall, my school,
right,
so, right? And she's also outstanding. She qualified, she made the character times last year, she was too young to go.
And they actually named her in the team, and I think they had
to pull it back because of her age, right? And she would have qualified already.
Yes.
One of the first athletes to qualify on that character because she have run the time.
What distance she is running?
She does 3,000, 1,500, and she also did the 800 for the intercol.
She won the time management in terms of 3,000.
That's it. So point in case, we have to pull her from the 800 because she has character trials is going to be the next weekend. You know, the second and third.
That's in Tobago in Trinidad. Okay.
Right. So coaches would have to manage their athletes, and I could understand because of the effort, time, and money. Sometimes an athlete could get injured during training or even during participation, and the coaches and the clubs and the parents might feel it a bit more. But we have to recognize that the secondary school league is an important one also because it's part of the school life. And historically it has been there. So I think it's a case where everybody has to kind of sit down and work it out. Going to Trinidad over the next few days, we have a number of athletes who are character bound, you know, once all things go well. I think it has to be worked out at the national level where the entry is, and the secondary school track and field association can sit down so that times could be recognized, ratified, so that even if you participate in a regional meet and something should happen along the way, your times could still, or your distances could be recognized and brought forward for the trials, and you could be considered as part of the team. And that's what we have seek to do in bringing in the entries. They would have managed. They had officials coming up from Trinidad to assist us here, and we also had in the former Mr. Lucas and Mr. Janelle Edwards, who are also recognized internationally.
Yes.
They were meet manager and technical, team, so delegates. So they would have managed the meet and ensure that everything that was done could be considered for character and going forward.
Because at these meets, the intercol, you can actually attain times to qualify for character.
That could be considered. That was the intention. That's why we brought these people in to assist, so that whatever was done in Trinidad and could be used coming out of their zones could also be used. And I think that's where we need to go, so that because in a character trial, let's say on that day there's problem traveling from Tobago to Trinidad on that weekend, or an athlete is unwell, but they could still make it to the character. I mean, you want to be able to look back and see what is the most recent, that they would have attained, and that could be used. So I think that's where we need to go, so that every time an athlete goes to the track, it's worthy of them making a qualification.
I'm happy that you guys have considered that, because over the years, I think it places the athletes at a disadvantage.
So
I'm hoping that Mr. Lucas and Edwards, who came across and viewed the meet, they can strongly argue that point at the national level. And talking about persons who would have actually qualified for already, or who may have met the standards, do you have an idea of how many athletes and who to look forward to coming up to next week?
Well, let's talk about the national championship. The athletes we have going on, we have a number of major athletes. We have Malik Young, who is from Bishops. He's a very good runner middle distance. Also Adela Sylvester. We have Lashaya Bigart. She has to be managed. I spoke to her coach just last night.
Lashaya, what does
Bigart? She comes from Goodwood Secondary School.
And what events?
She does the high jump, and she also could do 100 meters and some of the sprints. But some athletes managing injuries. So again, we have to consider trying to manage how she participates. You have people who everybody will be familiar with, like in the case of Ruth Irvin. I think we know Ruth has gone to character a number of times. She was at Signal Hill, now at Scarborough Secondary. So Ruth is there. Of course, I said O'Shea Cummins, Jay and Ines from my school. From Roxborough Secondary, Tishon Edwards, Natalia Eastman, also a character athlete who has gone to character and is one of the dominant runners in the 400 meters. I think it is. So we have Alexi Henry. One of my favorites.
Well, we've got Alex. You saw Alex last year, and I think she actually medaled at the character games.
That's right.
So Bahamas,
and she came and she dominates in the national. So it's good to see people like her run. I have a young cousin, Mr. Jacon Douglas, again family from Roxborough. He's at Signal Hill Secondary, and I love watching him. I'm looking at his development and tracking him, and he's doing really well at Signal Hill. So there's Kyle Manswell. I know we know the Manswell name. I saw his dad at the meet there, and I was telling him, it's good to see him. All right. So Kyle Manswell, he goes to Speyside High and Chanel Green. Did I leave out any school? I don't want any. So like Life as Joshua Kent, Hotel Joe Field, and these are just some of the athletes who. Now what happens?
By prospects that may get into
that may medal. And because when you looked at the standards that they send out of the qualifying list, these were people who were like either first or second. So these names stood out to me, and there are other athletes who will go down and based on their performance, I think they could also medal because on the day it comes down to the competition.
And I wanted to ask you that, right? How does one qualify for the national champs? Is it by time or by placement?
Now, in the past, it used to be the top 2 from every zone.
Right.
And, sometimes you'd have good athletes who didn't make it on the day and they would stay back. It's more difficult for us now because it's now, they have standards. So you have a minimum standard.
Right. So who sets that standard? Entry sets that standard?
The SSTF would have sat down with the entries and their officials, they would assist them and they identified. And I think they would have also looked at past character.
Oh, because that's what I was going to ask that. What was the criteria for their
so
distance?
Some discussions would have been had and they worked it out. And now, the thing is, it means now that we have a much larger team.
Fantastic.
Because at the secondary level, we have very good athletes. I think somewhere, and that's where we need to figure out what to do to have people continue and go, whether it's go to tertiary education to continue, applying their trade or even to get to that next level where they become a professional athlete.
Yeah.
We have to define pathways because we are kind of approximately 334 students.
This is on the fast ferry, right?
Well, two days, Monday and Sunday. We have to still, when I leave here, I go to education, we're working that out.
Right. So what are we trying to do? Get the athletes done the day before? Or
at least the day before, that's ideal. So they could, you have to then go to a hotel, check in, that takes a while, room assignments, have meetings with them, let them know this is what is expected, settle them, because they're in a new place. Yeah, so it's 300 and it's about 61 teachers I should expect, and some other, we have, we normally carry like Mr. Ruston Wood, who is a physio, and
that's
Walters, because you have to take care of these, we are looking at the fact that many of them will be competing in about 9 days for trials, so we try to make sure that they're comfortable, they're taken care of, and like I said, Roxborough, with the numbers they have and the talent they have, and I'm not to sleep on Signal Hill, Bishops, or Scarborough Secondary, they also have a shot of being one of the top 5 schools. And that's what we want to see. And I think Roxborough could be number 1 this year.
And then it's no longer by zone, because the Tobago Tobago zone winning on, or the Toco,
that zone is by school. So the more numbers your school could get into that finals, and they could play, you get points from 1 to 8.
Right.
So the more people who could either medal or at least be in the top 8, that would lend points to your school.
Well, how would you guys manage that in terms of, because it's no longer by zone, where Tobago zone may go down to
as a team,
and
united.
Sit by a team. So how do you manage that?
Well, for me, I am going with the executive, so I have to look at the bigger picture. Of course, you want to see a school do well. I want to be top 10, top,
national champion.
Regardless of what school they come from, based on where I sit, I have to ensure that every school has a chance to do well, every athlete, and so it's a matter, and I think we still need to look out for one another. Yes, we're going down at individual school, but if I see your athlete and something is happening, I could tell them, hey, be here, do this. And it goes a long way. So, yes, there's still a competition, but at this point, the Tobago zone has been decided, and we now go in as a region, and we want to see all the schools in our region be in that top, group of schools in Trinidad and Tobago.
And just tell me about the meet again. It's next Tuesday?
Tuesday and Wednesday, the 20th, 21st. Hasty Crawford starts at 10 o'clock, goes up to 6 each day. And it's going to be great fun again. I'm seeing some top names from the national team who have qualified. So if they come out, it's going to be very entertaining.
Fantastic.
And it's normally a good time. They usually bring in musical entertainment and that kind of stuff for the opening. So it's normally a lot of fun, and also it's a step in the right way in terms of development.
Yeah, and in terms of persons who may not be able to make it, is it if it's going to be a live stream?
They usually do a live stream. I would have to get that information and I'll try to get it onto you, because I have you.
Yes.
So I would get it onto you so you can share it when you're sharing the live. They can,
I like that. And in terms, you mentioned that you're looking out for Roxborough to do good, because of obviously they are on the rise. They're on the rise in that particular way.
So they're going to be very hard to dethrone if they continue in that trajectory.
And just before I let you go, any final words? Encouragement for persons in Trinidad, come out and support not just the Tobago athletes, but track and field on a whole.
Listen to me, I will tell you, our parents from Tobago have already started calling me to ask me when we are traveling. So there are parents who are leaving Tobago to travel to Trinidad. If you're in Trinidad already, people, come out, look at these young athletes. You may be able to see the next Kishon Walcott, Atto Bolden, Dion Lendo. So these children are right within, and they are in, this is the time they need that support. And I would say come out, support, make some noise, and encourage these guys so that we could see where they could go.
Yeah, fantastic. As I said before, it's huge work that you guys are doing. And you mentioned you are PE teachers. You have to be in the classroom, and then you spend so many time times outside of the classroom, and I mean, we can't pay you guys enough for what you have been, because I love my sports, and I'm happy to see that you are making the extra effort to ensure that the youngsters, or I'll call them student athletes, they marry that education and sport as well. So I want to wish you guys all the best. I'm hoping that I'm going to be there as well not only to cheer for Tobago athletes. To report.
Bring the updates.
to put the good news on Tobago updates, and of course Tobago Sports Life. Want to wish you guys all the best in traveling, safe, and it's not easy to manage 300 athletes, especially when you have boys and you have girls, and obviously, excited to see each other in that sense. So all the best down there, and I'm urging the athletes, put your best foot forward, and of course, whether you come first, last, third, whatever, still proud of you. Get into the national stage is an accomplishment. Right, Morgan, thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Pleasure, man.
Again, and we continue chatting about the development of sport in Tobago. Guys, this has been a Sporting Morning here on Tobago Updates Television. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking and staying with us. Coming up next, we have Good Morning Tobago with Candice Jackson. Yes, so continue to stay safe out there and continue to follow sports, play sports, drink lots of water. This is very hot these days. Share the live. We'll be right back after the break.
Inventor of the U-Dazzle fashion ruler, Mrs. Rona Eastman Jack, is Tobago's foremost authority on intellectual property rights. She is sharing the benefit of her experience with Roxborough secondary students.
One of the greatest benefits is licensing my product to a company in Denmark. And if I didn't have the protection for it, he would not have taken it. So, and then I have the benefit of now looking to license in the United States. And even with my trademark, that's one of intellectual property rights. My trademark now is in multiple countries because of the Madrid Protocol. You have to have intellectual property, you have to have proof of ownership. And if you don't have proof of ownership, they will not take your product to license or sell it as an invention, because you could be an infringement on somebody else's own, and they don't want that. The companies that we license to don't want that problem.
It was inspiring to me that I got to meet one of an inventors from my country. So it was inspiring for me.
This year's theme is Women and IP, accelerating innovation, creativity.
If you have it protected, then you skip the having to prove yourself, and then you would be able to say, no, I have my trademark for this. I have an industrial design. I have a patent. I have my poems, or my book is copyright protected because it's original work. Your pictures are original. You would be able to have those particular rights.
April 26th is World Intellectual Property Rights Day. Lectures were conducted at Roxborough Secondary School and Goodwood High School to mark the occasion.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly. The effects of marijuana on users was one of the major topics participants learned about during the 4th annual Substance Misuse Symposium hosted by the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Prevention Program, ADAP. Dr. Cherish Allen, who's attached to the Mental Health Unit of the TRHA, explained the effects of marijuana on the body, effects which can eventually lead to dependence on this drug.
So it has something in mental health that we call cannabis use disorder.
In short, cannabis use disorder is actually addiction to cannabis. Many people that I have met who use cannabis, like people on the ward, I mean, they tend to say, yeah, but I'm not addicted, doc. I could stop anytime I want. But as soon as you're out of hospital, it's right back to the marijuana again. You'll find that you always find a reason that you need to use it. It's like, yeah, I could stop it, but I need it for this. That in itself is an addiction and a dependence on the substance.
This year's theme, as the Secretary would have indicated, is People First, Stop Stigma and Discrimination, Strengthen Prevention. The campaign aims to combat stigma and discrimination against substance misusers by promoting language and attitudes that are respectful and non-judgmental.
How do you withstand the fact that the entire room is calling you a bad name because you are the only one who does not want to take that sip of alcohol or does not want to smoke that joint or whatever it is? It means actually giving people the skills to withstand those shocks that happen within our lives. So I am happy that ADAP continues to do the work that is required to ensure that young people like you young people in the room get the skills.
ADAP's symposium was held in commemoration of the United Nations International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Give it to me, give it to me. Yeah. Give it to me, honey.
Girl, you look normal. Girl, you look normal. Girl, you look normal. Girl, you look normal. Oh, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Girl, you know what you're doing. You waste with the eye contact. Girl, look back. Look back. Look back. Look back. Look back. Look back. Look back, look back, look back. Look back how it march, look back at the stage, look back to the stars, look back, look back.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry, don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry, if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you. Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Carnival is here, but before you hit the streets, make your home the ultimate party zone. Standard says, make it stage ready, now for now. Get dazzling deals on TVs, furniture, appliances, everything to impress your guest. 10% cash back, easy financing, plus no down payment. Now's the time to shine. Visit Standards today. Let them make your home the star of Carnival.
From Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Tobago, Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62-TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Ansa Makal Group.
Inner Health, number 13B, Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Supplies.
A vessel with crude oil heading to its territory. Tobago oil spill sparks regional concern. Special allowance being considered for some oil spill cleanup workers. Magdalena Resort recovering from the effects of the oil spill, and Tourism Secretary travels to Jamaica. Good evening, I'm Kristen Salandi. Welcome to the Tobago Updates television news for Thursday, February 15th, 2024. Topping the news tonight, Guyana's Vice President Barack Jagdeo shied away from confirming whether a tanker filled with crude oil was indeed heading to its territory. At a press conference this afternoon in Guyana, Jagdeo was questioned by Guyanese reporters about it after the Ministry of National Security in Trinidad and Tobago revealed that a tugboat named Solo Creed was towing a barge carrying crude oil from Panama to Guyana. The tugboat vanished 11 days ago, while the barge drifted upside down into Tobago's waters, settling just outside of Cove and leaking oil into the sea since Wednesday, February 7th, creating an ecological disaster.
Well, first, they didn't know anything about it. They were trying to find out from us whether the vessels came to Guyana. So I'm not sure. But even if they're destined for Guyana, any vessel from any part of the world destined for Guyana could topple over, could sink, and then create problems anywhere in the world.
When pressed for more information, Vice President Jagdeo did not seem to know that the vessels were indeed on their way to Guyana.
So were they bringing the oil to Guyana? Were they bringing this oil to Guyana?
That's the question for you, sir.
Oh, okay.
While he did not believe this was a situation for which Guyana would be held liable, Vice President Jagdeo was not averse to assisting with the cleanup efforts if necessary.
It has become an international event, Tier 3 event, so a number of international bodies have been approached. If we have any capacity to deal with this matter.
Guyana's energy industry has been growing rapidly with its recent discovery of oil. However, it does not yet have its refinery. The discovery of the wrecked Gulfstream vessel, which was being towed by a tugboat Solo Stream with crude oil from Panama to Guyana, is raising more questions than answers. President of Fishermen and Friends of the Seas, Gary Aboud, is taking notice of information that was not released to the public or even the THA from the Ministry of National Security. More in this report from Candice Jackson.
So far, we know that the capsized Gulf Stream vessel, which is leaking oil in the waters just outside of Cove State, was being towed from Panama to Guyana. The rope that was towing it is still attached. The tug, Solo Creed, last recorded an ASI signal 11 days ago. Its crew is still unaccounted for. There were no distress calls made around that time. The Ministry of National Security did not release information regarding the vessel's ownership. The thickening of this mysterious plot is raising certain questions. Just like Chief Secretary Fali Augustine, Fishermen and Friends of the Sea President Gary Aboud wants to know why information about the exact contents and quantity has not yet been publicized.
We still don't know how many thousands or hundreds of thousands of barrels of crude is contained on this vessel. The central government have not told us what is the plan. How are they going to stop the leak?
Aboud also has concerns about the legality of the vessel's contents and why no one has yet come forward to claim responsibility.
Was it coming from a destination under the radar, so to speak, from a country in which there's international sanctions, who may be selling this crude, possibly even to the Trinidad and Tobago government?
On Wednesday, the Chief Secretary questioned the possibility that the owner is a company attempting to purchase the Point Fortin refinery. Aboud believes someone in Trinidad and Tobago knows the truth.
That the vessel, that there are local people interest here in Trinidad and Tobago who have a vested stake in that vessel, and that vessel was bringing embargoed cargo that is not allowed in the open world because of embargoes, because Iran suffers serious embargoes because of all sorts of terrorist funding and activities.
While the Ministry of National Security indicated that it was through the help of Guyanese authorities that it was determined that Solo Creed did not arrive as expected, its destination of Guyana raised more suspicions.
Think about it. Why would Guyana be importing crude? They don't have a refinery. What are they processing? Why would they want to import crude here?
According to shipping websites, Solo Creed carries a Tanzanian flag, which Aboud suspects may just be a flag of convenience, allowing it to evade authorities. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Some consideration is being given to paying a special allowance to CPEP, URP, LEP, and daily rated workers, whom the THA has utilized for the oil spill cleanup efforts.
One of the things we discussed, and there is some agreement to, is that for the CPEP, URP, LEP workers that have been used, and some of the daily rated workers, that efforts are to be made to look into some allowance for their interaction with the hazardous material. So we didn't just take them from where they are and dump them and say, okay, work here, and we won't appreciate you in any way. So there will be some additional allowance that is being considered right now. I can't give you a figure because I've asked the team to sit, look at it, look at what's possible, and that's being considered for the workers that we have transferred to these areas.
The Chief Secretary noted that Trinidadians have been volunteering.
To also thank the scores of Trinidadians who have come to Tobago not to enjoy Strawberry or Pigeon Point and not to go and take a TikTok video to show that I was there, but to actually come and be part of the volunteerism. In fact, in one sailing we had 40 Trinidadians come up to be part of the volunteer program.
Many persons have since volunteered to assist with cleanup efforts following a major oil spill in Tobago. However, some are asking if they will be remunerated should they decide to help clean up. In response, Augustine said now is the ideal time to show patriotism and nationalism. Coming up next, we spoke exclusively to the general manager of Magdalena about the oil spill's impact on his resort. Stay tuned.
Carnival is here, but before you hit the streets, make your home the ultimate party zone. Standard says, make it stage ready, now for now. Get dazzling deals on TVs, furniture, appliances, everything to impress your guest. 10% cash back, easy financing, plus no down payment. Now's the time to shine. Visit Standards today. Let them make your home the star of Carnival.
You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Girl, you know what you're doing. You waste with the eye contact. Girl, look back. 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 Look back how it parts. Look back. Look back how it stays. Look back. Look back to the stars. Look back. Look back.
With us. The oil spill has affected many aspects of tourism on the island. The Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort faced some of the effects of the spill. Acting General Manager at the resort, Jason Martin, shared how the hotel was affected and what is being done to resolve the issue. Ariana Scipio has the story.
Martin said that the oil spill was an unforeseen circumstance. He said the first few days were a bit chaotic, but a group of experts gathered on the north wing of the beach to discuss how best the issue could be resolved.
We brainstormed, we chat. They had a meeting with both the chief sec and the PM later in the day, and I think we have now settled down, and a recovery or repair program is in place.
Martin explained that the high tides in the Atlantic Ocean pushed the oil near the hotel's main swimming pool, which was a serious cause for concern since many guests frequent the pool.
Our internal team, we quickly regrouped and decided that we can build a barrier, and that barrier should prevent the recurrence since the oil molecules can't get through the net.
He said the nets were very helpful. Martin disclosed that although some guests were concerned about the spill, many others still came to the hotel to enjoy themselves and were happy that the issue was being resolved.
If you're here, you get a slight smell of the fuel, not very toxic though. One of the agency, or in fact two of the agencies, were quite helpful upon our request to come and test the air quality because we want to make sure everybody's safe.
He said that cleanup was taking place at the south and north wings of the hotel. However, operations continue as usual. Martin acknowledged that although it was a rough start, things have smoothed out. He revealed that their busiest days were during the carnival period, with no negative reviews from guests so far about their stay. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
Chief Secretary Farley Augustine has indicated that oil spill particles have been drifting during the Chief Secretary media briefing on Wednesday at the Scarborough Sea stage. The Chief Secretary was asked if he believes this is a CARICOM issue. More in this story from Tanika Cruikshank.
Chief Secretary Farley Augustine believes that the oil spill in Tobago became a CARICOM issue the moment one of its CARICOM members was impacted. He mentioned that the oil spill particles have been drifting.
Certainly it is. As a matter of fact, I would like to believe that when incidents like this happen in any CARICOM state, it becomes an issue for the region. We have had, is it Sidima? We have had Sidima. Also partner with us and part of our strategic planning meetings and sending support, so they were always a part of the conversation.
According to the Chief Secretary, a map showing the proximity of additional islands near Tobago will be shown as many people are concerned that their island may be affected by the oil spill.
When the most recent map with the trajectory is put out there later today, you will make a judgment call for yourself as to how much of it will impact on other territories. But I prefer to have the maps done by the professionals do the talking. But
on Wednesday, February 7th, 2024, an overturned vessel was discovered with a black oil-like substance leaking from it. This has caused a major oil spill in Tobago. Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
While there is progress on the oil spill cleanup for the affected coastlines, the village of Lambo remains inundated. This is causing problems for the village's fishing industry. However, fishermen are advised to stay out of the water around Lambo and relocate their vendors temporarily. Here is more.
Lambo remains the most affected village by the oil spill from the capsized Gulf Stream vessel. As a result, President of the All Tobago Fisherfolk Association, Curtis Douglas, is warning fishermen from the village to stay out of the water and keep their boats grounded.
Yes. So don't go through it. Don't go through it because already have engines that impeller pull and it damaged, so them have to pull up. So do not fish around the area. I'm advising them again.
Even though fish may not have been caught within the contaminated waters, Douglas discouraged the sale of fish in Lambo.
I'm advising because I'm seeing fishes selling. The vendors are selling fish. And I do not want anything called cross-contamination.
Douglas assured fishermen that they could continue selling fish at other locations.
It is not permanent. So I don't want people to believe that, I just want to create a belief they come to a runway, and no, that is not the case, right? We are in an emergency situation whereby we're trying to safeguard you, your children, and the population.
The situation is expected to last about 3 or 4 more weeks. In the meantime, some fishermen are playing an important role in the relief and cleanup efforts. Several of them are out on a daily basis assisting experts from Kaizen Environmental Services Limited in placing oil booms to prevent more oil from reaching the shorelines.
These guys are real doctors in their field. These guys are, I'm saying, are going behind some swells, in some holes to sort out the pockets of where the oils are. I mean, kudos to the fisher folk.
While they are assisting with the response efforts, Douglas explained the fishermen are also being trained so that they can respond more effectively in the event of such an incident recurring. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates Television News.
Up next, Senior Soup says Tobago's carnival was one of the safest in 6 years. Here, the details when we return.
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, tobago right here in Tobago, Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Ansa Makal Group.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech. Tobago
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Welcome back. As the various stakeholders continue to do their post-mortem and provide feedback on the just concluded carnival celebrations in Trinidad and Tobago, Senior Superintendent Rodil Kirk of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Tobago Branch, stated that despite a few minor incidents, Tobago experienced one of the safest national carnivals in a long time. Here is more.
According to Superintendent Rodil Kirk, the Tobago leg of the National Carnival was a success from a law enforcement perspective. He said it was amongst the safest compared to those held within the last 6 years. Kirk noted there was some misunderstanding over the location of some carnival events.
We got the information that Crown Point and Roxborough were the two main hubs, but not to take our eyes off Scarborough, and we did that. We had resources on the ground. We recognized that nothing much didn't happen, and everything went well. We are thankful for that.
Kirk stated as the cruise ship was in port and the oil spill cleanup also occurred, Scarborough was limited to where people could traverse. Hence, persons went to Roxborough and Crown Point.
And what we recognize is that within the Crown Point area on Monday morning, roughly about 3,000 masqueraders taking the streets. That concluded around 10 a.m. and the people dispersed quietly, again with no incident. So I want to also thank the Tobago public for, being well behaved during the carnival period. Roxborough itself, Jubilee morning had one music truck and roughly about 600 to 700 persons, behind the music truck as well. They didn't have no bands per se. Again, everyone was well behaved.
A bomb threat report and around 3 robbery complaints caught the attention of the TTPS. However, these incidents were not related to carnival activities.
What we also have is that persons were called off their vacation leave and they did answer that call. Not forgetting the members of the Defense Force, TTR and the Coast Guard, who came out and were always there to support us. So, I want to also extend my sincerest gratitude to these stakeholders for, standing by the police in terms of having the resources on the ground to treat with any eventualities.
Regarding the TTPS's efforts to decrease the number of road fatalities, the TTPS will continue to advise motorists to drive carefully. Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
In January, the Tobago Civil Net released a survey questioning the performance of the Tobago House of Assembly administration for the year 2023. Chairman of the Tobago Civil Net, Rodney Pigott, appeared on the Good Morning Tobago show to discuss the results of this survey. Ariana Scipio has the report.
The results from the 2023 survey conducted by the Tobago Civil Net revealed that 34% of people who responded gave positive feedback about the current THA administration, while 46% gave negative reviews. However, Rodney Pigott noted that another survey conducted last year showed that approximately 52% of responses were negative and 22% positive, a 12% increase in positive responses.
So this year, it has increased in the positive perception, and it has decreased in the negative perception. So it's going in the right direction. It's going in the direction that we, the people, want it to go in.
However, the performance of the assemblymen was rated poorly.
And what the people are saying in that area is that, especially when it comes to the assemblymen and the way they relate to the public, what the people are saying there is that we're not pleased with the way you relate to the public.
He said the public's responsibility does not stop at voting but continues daily, keeping the island's government in check. He assured that the survey was not a correctional tool against the THE administration.
This is a tool whereby our governance structure can get that kind of feedback from the public, good, bad, or indifferent, as to how they're performing, and use that kind of response to sharpen themselves, deliver better services to the people.
In this regard, he said the assemblymen should note that the public is displeased with their performance, which should prompt them to do better. Inaccessibility to assemblymen was among the issues that the public had.
Are people calling and leaving messages and it's taken me days to get back to them, and so forth and so forth? Those are the things that you want to do with that kind of information.
He acknowledged that it is a new and young administration and that they need time to get used to being in power. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Councillor Tashia Boris, will attend the 2024 Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference in Jamaica from the 16th to the 17th of February 2024. While there, she will participate in the ministerial roundtable with fellow regional and global tourism leaders, including the Secretary General of the United Nations World Tourism Organization. The conference will occur at the Montego Bay Convention Center. The Secretary's invitation was issued through the Caribbean Tourism Organization. The upcoming global conference aims to further discussions on advancing sustainable tourism in the Caribbean and the Americas. We have more news and the weather report right after this break.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Car Clinic, located right here in Tobago at Storby Local Road. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 366-4173.
Carnival is here. But before you hit the streets, make your home the ultimate party zone. Standard says, make it stage ready, now for now. Get dazzling deals on TVs, furniture, appliances, everything to impress your guest. 10% cash back, easy financing, plus no down payment. Now's the time to shine. Visit Standards today. Let them make your home the star of Carnival.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. Never ever worry if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Thanks for keeping it here. The air quality in areas most affected by the oil spill in Tobago remains safe. This is according to Chief Secretary Folly Augustine, who noted that there is still a high stench present in those areas.
Those meters were reading at 0, which means that it is not harmful to be in the area. However, we appreciate that there is still a strong odor emanating from some areas.
Schools in the affected areas, namely Scarborough Secondary and Lambo Anglican Primary, will remain closed until further notice.
But we continue to monitor it because we want to ensure that those working to help us with manual cleanup, our students and the villagers, that they will not be experiencing anything that's harmful.
The Chief Secretary said daily tests would be conducted to ensure air quality remained at safe levels. Checking in with the weather update from the TNT Met office. Tonight's weather forecast calls for generally fair conditions with the possibility of isolated showers. Temperatures are expected to drop to a low of 26 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, early morning showers will pave the way for generally sunny, hazy and breezy conditions. Temperatures will climb to a high of 32 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 35 degrees. A mild concentration of Saharan dust persists in the atmosphere. While the yellow level hazardous seas warning has been lifted, seas remain moderate with waves reaching up to 1.8 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise is expected at 6:23 a.m., followed by sunset at 6:10 p.m. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Let's recap the headlines before we go. Guyana's vice president denies knowledge of vessel with crude oil heading to its territory. Tobago oil spill sparks regional concern. Special allowance being considered for some oil spill cleanup workers. Magdalena Resort recovering from the effects of the oil spill. And Tourism Secretary travels to Jamaica. I am Kristen Salandi. Have a good night.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.